Welcome to the Diane Ingram Show. This is my first show ever, and I'm so excited that you joined me on this journey. In a little while, we're going to be meeting Joan, who is a friend of mine, and she was a client of mine at one point, and she's become a friend, and she's a healer. And we're going to be sitting with Joan, and she's the one who encouraged me to do this. When she first mentioned to me the idea of doing a TV show, I thought, I don't know about that. And so as I kind of warmed to the idea and found out more about it, I got very excited about it. But I must say, it's taking me out of my comfort zone. I'm a little nervous, I'm a little excited, but it's a good thing. But it takes me outside my comfort zone. Whenever we try anything new, it takes us out of our comfort zone. And it's uncomfortable by definition. But what it does is it allows us to grow in ways that we don't even anticipate. We meet new people, we discover parts of ourselves that we may not have known even existed before. So it's a very rich experience, and it's our opportunity to kind of bring new things into our lives. Oftentimes, especially as we get older, we start limiting ourselves, and we find that we're going always on the same paths, down the same roads. And it's a way to create safety for ourselves. But it also becomes kind of our own self-limiting little cage that we sometimes put ourselves in, our box. It's important to step outside of the box and discover who else we might be. So in taking on this adventure for myself, I'm learning new things, I'm meeting new people, and I'm discovering how I can stretch and grow. You too can do that. One of the things that supports us in taking these steps is being surrounded by people who are encouraging us, like Joan, to do things outside of our comfort zone. When we surround ourselves with positive people, we're much more likely to take chances and to try new things. The support is really important. Another thing that kind of helps us to take steps outside of ourselves is really getting clear on what direction we want to be going. For me, the TV show is the perfect growth out of years behind me of being on stage as a dancer, as a singer, and doing various things. For you, it might be taking a class and trying a new career venture, or meeting new people, or trying a new craft or an art. Stepping outside of your comfort zone is key to growing and becoming all that you can be. It's bringing your gifts of who you are forward and sharing them with the world. So think about, what is it that might take you out of your comfort zone and allow you to grow? Sometimes when we're young, we try all kinds of new things, and getting older, we start limiting ourselves, as I said before. So sometimes it's important to kind of think about, what was it when we were younger that kind of brought excitement and wonder into our life? Sometimes stepping out of our comfort zone means doing something we've actually already done when we were younger, and we kind of forget that we've done those things. So it's trying new things, it's bringing new people in our life, it's causing us to expand and grow in ways that we had no idea we could. And when we stretch ourselves in that way, the whole world opens up. Thank you. In this segment of the show, I'm going to be coaching people to whatever it is that's the next step in their life that will help expand them and take them closer to the life they want to be living. Today we have Joan Baird, who's an energy healer. Welcome, Joan.
Good morning, Diane.
Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you're here, because not only are you a coaching client of mine, and you're a wonderful person to work with, and you're a beautiful energy healer, which I've taken part of your healing work, and it was just wonderful, but also you're the person who encouraged me to do this TV show. So it just is very fitting and appropriate that you're here for the first show. So thank you so much for coming.
You're most welcome.
So Joan, we've talked a little bit, but I want you, for the audience, to tell them, what is it, what area of life, And what thing in that area of life would move you forward closer to the life you want to be living? What's next for you?
I think the area I'd like to work on now is my home.
Okay.
I've done a lot of work on clearing and organizing and creating a kind of sanctuary. But I do have an area that is unseen and untouched. It's my crawl space above the room where I use for my energy healing. And although I can't see it, I know it's there, and I know it is impeding some of the energy flow.
Yeah, I think some of the earlier work we did together was to help you get some of the bottom or the main floor of your house in order. You want to share with some of the things that you did and during that phase?
Well, I always considered myself kind of a klutz when it came to repairing things at home, painting, spackling. But with your encouragement, I started in a very small way and was able to work myself through redoing my living room, my bedroom, my hallway, and my energy healing room, bit by bit, and it has really transformed my home and transformed my life, because now it's a very serene and wonderful place to come home to.
I was really impressed with some of the tasks you took on. You had a ceiling in your living room that was
falling down?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
And then what did you do there?
I went to Home Depot and I found people that told me what to do. I scraped off all of the plaster, I sanded it down, I replastered it, I painted it, primed it, painted it, and it's gorgeous.
It was a lot of work you did.
It was.
It seemed like every time I saw you, you had taken on another big task. And so, yeah, so you really transformed your place there.
I did. And in doing that, I actually transformed myself, because I never thought I had the strength, the talent, or the stick-to-itiveness to do it.
Wow. So those are things you discovered about yourself.
I did.
So now that, and you also fixed up your healing room.
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so what were some of the things you did to get that?
I had to get rid of years of grime left by my older son when he left home. I had to sell most of the furniture, get rid of all his school books, papers, empty Coca-Cola cans, you know. That was a different type of job. It was more hauling things out.
Okay. And it's beautiful now. You painted the walls.
I painted, I plastered, pretty much I redid the floor by hand, redid my baseboards, fixed a closet door, fixed the windows, and little by little people just showed up in my life who knew how to do these things.
Wonderful.
And were able to help me figure it out.
Yeah, it's amazing. Once we kind of step up to the job or kind of step out of our comfort zone and take on these tasks, people show up to help us.
It really.
And you were really open to taking advice from the people at Home Depot and the other people who came along and bought your furniture, and it just seems almost like magic.
It was like magic.
Yeah.
It really was. Because I don't know anything about the computer, I hate to admit, and friends helped me get things on Craigslist, and it was amazing.
Wonderful. And it's a beautiful healing room, very peaceful and serene, a great place to do energy work. So now you want to do what with your attic?
Clear it out. Clear it out. I have stuff from, you might say, before the flood up there. It is organized, but it's unnecessary, unloved, and unused. So I want to clear out that space so that I have a flow of energy above me while I'm doing my healing work.
Okay, wonderful. And what we're going to actually do is, you've already approved this, we're going to come to your house and take some video of what it looks like now so that we can see what it looks like later. So, and you had said that by doing that, what's that gonna, you said that might inspire you to
put a fire
forward?
Under me and to move it out. Yes.
Yeah,
I think
so,
it'll be helpful.
Well, I appreciate you allowing us to do that, because there's probably a lot of us who have attics that are cluttered or not what we want them to be. And so I appreciate you allowing us to do that and see what it looks like. So what is your idea of getting things out of there, and how do you think that's going to open up the energy in your house?
Well, according to Feng Shui, The area where the clutter is my place of helpful friends, angels, and travel.
Can you tell us a little bit for the audience about what feng shui is for people who maybe haven't heard of it?
Feng shui is a Chinese system that has been around for years and years regarding the art of placement. They believe that according to how your house is laid out, they assign certain areas to certain portions of your life. For example, family, wealth, fame, career, helpful friends and angels. And according to if your energy is blocked in one particular area by clutter or disuse, then that portion of your life is affected.
Mm-hmm. In what way?
That energy might be blocked. For me, for example, in the helpful friends and angels area, I would like my energy work to grow. And I think by lifting off all of this clutter and unnecessary stuff, that more clients, more people will be attracted into my life. Not only energy healing people, but also friends. So I think that would be very beneficial if I had worked on that area.
And so what do you think, first let's ask, what is it that you would like specifically to happen after you clear that space? Do you have an idea of kinds of friends or number of friends, and how much of your practice do you want to get, what kind of, it's always important to kind of be very focused on what you want, specifically. And then it's this or something better, because we can't always, there's a lot of factors that come into that. But by being clear and focused yourself, then you know when you get there. You'll know when you're successful with that. So let's take first the healing practice. If you were really pleased with the way things are in that area, in the next, let's say, 3 months, what would be different than it is now?
I would like to have 3 more energy healing clients.
Okay.
I would, since it's also the space of travel, I would like to plan a vacation for the summer.
Wonderful. Any ideas about where you'd like to go?
Near the beach.
Okay.
I love the beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I would love to do that. And I would like to be able to see my friends more often. I work a lot, so I would like to create the opening, that space in my life that would allow me to spend more time with them.
Okay. Wonderful. And how do you think that will contribute to your well-being? Because once again, when we're clear on what it is specifically we want and how it's going to contribute to our well-being, it motivates us to actually get up there in that nasty space and clean it out. Because we know that our well-being is going to be improved in a specific way, so, or we have an idea that it will.
Well, I think in terms of the people for energy healing would give me great satisfaction, because that's what I love to do. I think it would bring me peace. I think considering going on vacation brings me great relaxation and excitement. And being with my friends is just heartwarming. I have wonderful friends, and I regret not having the space in my life to see them and do things with them enough. So that would be also very fulfilling to me.
So the friends, are they local? Are they at a distance? Do you?
Both, both. I have friends that are very nearby. I have friends that are out of state. I have friends in Texas, in Arizona. So I'd combine that with the travel. Maybe I'll get to see them also.
Wonderful. So what specific things do you think you need to, if you were to create an action list, what specifically would you, and we're going to write this down afterwards, so that, because it's important to put in writing what it is you commit to doing. So if you were to create an action list, what do you think are some of the things that you need to do to start clearing the space?
Opening the door and looking at how bad it is.
Okay, okay.
And I think maybe categorizing things as to what needs to be taken to the dump, what needs to be given away, and what needs to be given back to the people it belongs to. because I really don't want much left up there. There might also be a couple of things that need to be repaired. I know there's an old rocking chair up there that is still in good shape but needs some webbing. And I think I need to come to the point where it's okay to let some things go. I have like an old artificial Christmas tree, which I never use, but it has the memories attached to it of all the Christmases with the kids, and that's hard to let go.
Yeah, sometimes in our attic there are a lot of memories that kind of remind us of earlier times, and it is hard to let go. They represent that. Is there any piece of that that you can save that will remind you of those days without having to keep the whole Christmas tree?
Well, I have a new one, so I think I can let that go. Some of the ornaments I might just save maybe a dozen and the rest let go because I don't really use them. So if I had that small amount, go through, sort out, and just save a small amount, that might be okay for me. I also have a lot of books and notebooks and papers belonging to my kids, and I feel like they don't want me to throw them out. I'd be glad to get rid of them. So at this point, they've been gone quite a while. I don't think I need their permission anymore.
How old are your sons? You have two sons, right?
One is 29 and the other one's 26.
Okay.
So they're not coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can actually give them to them and let them decide what they want to do with them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so then it's not, the onus is not on you.
That's a good idea.
To get rid of something and they say, what'd you do with it, Mom?
They've said that already, yes.
Yeah, so getting rid of some things, passing some things back to the rightful owner so that you're no longer storing it. Yeah, oftentimes when we save things, it's to remind us of there's so many memories attached to anything and everything. But keeping it all means you have a crowded attic.
I do.
And so by choosing 12 ornaments instead of keeping the whole lot and the whole tree and the whole thing, then you can pare down and not be overwhelmed with all the clutter.
Yes.
And it opens up space, like you said.
Yeah.
So one of the things you're going to do is categorize who to give what to and that. And what is another action step that you might take?
Well, some of the stuff way on the other end of the crawl space, I don't even know what it is. So I think I have to actually face the music and look at it and understand the depth of my problem up there. The mice have also been up there. I have colonies of mice. I hear them at night. And the wasps have built nests up there. So these are things I want to get rid of sooner rather than later.
Right, so it might actually be it's particularly yucky to go up there because there's actually other things living up there.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So when you think about going into that one corner that you just talked about, are there feelings that come up that might have you feeling, once again, are there memories attached to that, or what do you feel about that? Because I noticed you
that corner, I have actually no memory of what's there, so I don't know if there's memories, but I think it's just a difficult place to get to. There's obstacles in the way. So to get there, I would have to be making a path and clearing out other things to get over there.
Okay.
The other issue that's hard for me is it's a pull-down stairway, and getting things down, other than just throwing them down, will be a mechanical challenge. I might have to get somebody to help me with the heavier stuff.
That's actually my next question. Who can you call on to help you with this task that might make it easier for you? Who do you need to enroll into your support network for this?
Well, if I could get my sons down from Boston, where they both live, to take responsibility for helping me with their stuff, that would be a major idea. I will be seeing them this weekend, so I can bring that up to them. Actually, I'll talk to my older son's wife. She's very influential.
Those wives sometimes are.
And maybe have them help with the bigger stuff. The smaller things I can manage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So getting your sons to help you brings down some of the bigger stuff. Anyone else that you need to call on to help you clean out up there, or?
I'm very independent, and that's one of my problems. I hate to ask for help. I think I can do it all on my own.
So it's a stretch into out of your comfort
not
zone by
comfortable for
asking
me.
for help.
Yeah.
So that might be even worth doing just for the sake of it.
Yes.
Because when we do those things that are uncomfortable for us, the more we do them, it's like a muscle. The stronger we get in that area, and it makes it easier for you. Yeah.
Yeah. That was hard when I had to sell the furniture and I had to find people to help me move it.
Right.
It was very difficult for me.
But you did it.
I did.
It's wonderful.
I did. Maybe I can call on some of those same people.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So Joan, thank you so much for coming today and sharing with us, and I hope that the audience has learned some things from some of the things that you've shared. I would like to come and look at your attic if it's okay with the video camera so people can see that, you know, we all have clutter and we all have little critters sometimes in places we don't want them. And then we'll get to see kind of a before and after. We'll get to see your progress. And if we could visit you next month, if you can either come back here or we'll come to where you are and just see how you're doing, see if any kind of obstacles came up or challenges for you, and just see how you're progressing. Would that be okay with you?
That would be very motivating for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Joan, and it's been a pleasure being with you, and I can't wait to see your progress.
Thank you, Diane.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So to get clear on what ways you might want to step out, it's important to check in with yourself. So what I'd like to do now is show you ways to check in with yourself. Some of you may have been experienced with meditating or with listening to your intuition, but those of you who haven't, I'd like to let you know an easy, good way to do that. So one of the ways to begin meditation, oftentimes people think, oh, I can never meditate, I can never empty my mind. Whenever I sit down and try to do it, I have all these thoughts running through. That's okay. It's a lifelong practice to learn how to calm your mind. We live in a very mental culture, so it's constant thoughts, constant bombardment of information. So when we finally sit down and get quiet, it takes time to retrain ourselves to do that. So when we're meditating, it requires compassion for ourselves when those thoughts start coming in, and patience. So a really easy way to begin meditating is to find a quiet space, ideally, especially at the beginning, because things can be really distracting, and to follow your breath. I do a meditation where you follow your breath down into your belly. And it's just as simple as going into your belly and going out. And you just follow the breath. And any thoughts that come in, you let go of them. You try not to attach to them. Pema Chodron, who is a Buddhist nun who lives in Nova Scotia, she's the head of an abbey up there. She writes many books and CDs. She once said that after years and years of meditating, she would find herself sitting down. They ring a gong at the beginning of meditation, and then when they rang it again 20 minutes later, she'd realize for 20 minutes she'd been lost in thought. So, and that's someone who meditates all the time. So once again, when those thoughts come in, sometimes you get lost in them, but as soon as you become aware that you're lost in them, you come back to your breath and just follow your breath in and out. This is a way to kind of calm down your mind, give your mind a break. Just like the rest of our body, it needs to have a break. So in calming your mind and following your breath, bring it to your belly or bring it to your heart. It brings energy to those centers. So today, once again, we are talking about stepping out of your comfort zone. So as you follow your breath into your heart, you can ask yourself some questions when you get in that still place. And when you've calmed your mind, you actually get a higher level of answer. You're reaching into a deeper or a higher part of yourself, however you want to look at it. So by following your breath and calming, you could ask yourself simple questions like, what would be the next step that would take me out of my comfort zone, that would allow me to grow, to be more of who I am, to bring a more fulfilling part of my life in? Simple questions. And then you sit and you continue following your breath. Sometimes the thought will come in with an answer. Sometimes it'll be an image you get. Sometimes it'll come right away. Sometimes it'll come later. But just calming yourself, following your breath, and going into your heart, there's good information for you there. It's our inner wisdom. It's our inner guidance system. We have this wonderful system that's kind of been forgotten. So by strengthening that each day and asking those questions, it starts coming back to life, and we get really good information. Once again, we're not talking about a lot of time. If you don't have time to get up a few minutes in the morning and spend that time with yourself, you can actually do it when you're sitting in the car. We oftentimes find ourselves sitting in traffic, standing in line at the bank or a grocery store, and rather than getting upset about being in those situations, we can actually just kind of check in and follow your breath and check into your heart. Say, what am I feeling right now? What's next for me? What do I need to bring into my life to kind of bring more of who I am into the world? So right now, I'm going to ask you to just get your feet planted on the floor. A really important piece is to get yourself grounded. So if you're sitting in a chair, get your feet planted on the floor, and just for a minute, just follow your breath. You can bring it into your belly and out and in and out. And in doing that, it just calms right down. Right now, just even talking about it just calms me right down. And you can be doing that at home. It's as simple as that. And the wonders of the results of doing that are just amazing. You start your day more clear, more focused, and more clear about what's next for you in your life. So we've been talking today about stepping out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to be back in a month again. You'll see me this show again throughout the month, but next month I'm going to have a new show. And what I want you to do over the month is look at, where do you want to step out? What would be the next step for you that would expand your world and bring more of who you are into the world? What's some of the challenges that come up when you think about that? Oftentimes we have these limiting beliefs that, oh gosh, if I step out, that's going to really rock the boat with my family or with my partner or with my work. So notice what kind of negative limiting beliefs come up, because those are the things that stop you every time. And what I'd like you to do is actually email me. My email is at the bottom of the screen, and it's also at the end of the show. Email me how it went for you. What did you discover about yourselves? It's when we ask these questions that we discover all kinds of things about ourselves. So tune in to what's your next step for you. What's going to allow you to grow and expand to the next level. And see what challenges come up, what negative voices come up or limiting beliefs come up. And write them down. If you send them to me, I'll read some of them on the show, if you give me permission. And we can kind of share our experiences with each other. And see if you can take a little bit of time each day to just sit down, follow your breath, and ask yourself the simple questions. What's next for me? What do I want in my life? What's going to help me grow? You've been watching the Diane Ingram Show. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you again.